have done with our chef. Okay, so today we have to go with our Nagios tool, and this is for the purpose of monitoring. Monitoring, guys. So we already know the significance of the monitoring that we studied under our SDLC chapter of Agile, because Agile has brought up to the industry a phase of monitoring, which we also continue in the DevOps. Going forward, any other models that come up will also will definitely carry the monitoring. So monitoring, the essence of the monitoring lies in identifying a possible occurrence of defect, guys. So that is an ultimate objective of monitoring. Any monitoring tools, the ultimate objective is to make sure that to keep an eye on them and always try to identify is there any possible occurrence of defect. So the defect can be in the form of a warning, the defect can be in the form of information, the defect can be in the form of an error or critical. Got it? So as soon as something it senses something bad, definitely the monitoring tools will go ahead and trigger the messages for us, and we can go ahead and look into them. Got it? So that's the essence. So we have a lot of monitoring tools in the market. We have something called Nagios. We have something called SolarWinds, and we have something called what are the other tools, guys? Glowroot, Uproot. Okay, so Prothemus. So a lot of tools are there, guys. Prothemus, etc. So list is very extensive. So among these tools, Nagios is on the top. The reason is this is one of the earliest tools in the market, and still it is a king in the market, guys. So you need to keep in mind. So Nagios is gigantic. So you can say Prothemus, Kafka, Kibana, these are all like a small components before the Nagios. So Nagios has been there in the industry from almost more than 15 years. So that is a track record of the Nagios, and it is capable of monitoring anything, guys. You will not believe it is capable of monitoring the mobile devices also. So Nagios came up with a journey of saying they start doing the network monitoring, then they started monitoring the servers, they started monitoring the clients, then started etc. So everything can be monitored, guys. So today the capability of the Nagios is like right from database, right from a printer, mobile phone, network, server, clients, anything which runs on IT hardware can be monitored by the Nagios, even web applications, normal applications also. So that is the capability of the Nagios, guys. So second in the market is our SolarWinds, guys. Okay. The second in the list is SolarWinds. So SolarWinds is also much capable like a Nagios, but you can say it's a second in the market. So Glowroot, Uproot, Kafka, Kibana, Prothemus. So these are all the fresh candidates in the market. You can say these are of recent origin and they carry the less experienced, and they are into the specific segment only. A specific segment is, for example, for log monitoring, we can use Kafka, Kibanas. For database, if it is, then Kibana we prefer. So likewise, got it? So different domains, different tools. But when you compare the Nagios, their capability is altogether different. Okay. So just give me a minute. I'll get you the PDF copy, guys. I'm pausing the screen. Okay. So I'm sharing the screen back. I hope you guys can see it. So this is a PDF copy of your Nagios. So we'll restrict our topic to the Nagios. The reason is Nagios is the syllabus. So coming to the Nagios here. So this is very popular tool, and this has been written in C language, guys. And I already told you it is capable of monitoring a lot of activities. So the list is very extensive. Now you can think like it is like A to Z. And coming to the question of the features, okay. So you can see all the alerts threshold, set up the threshold, set up the notifications, a lot of activities you can do here. And the basic purpose of any monitoring tool, guys, the essence lies in identifying, tracking everything. So basically, if something is going wrong, it keeps a tracking everything, guys. So that is the use. So that's the reason. So it is all about identifying the first sign of detectable occurrence, right? So if you are proactive in this kind of occurrences, guys, immediately something is identified. So then we take the proper action, then definitely that is called proactive. And definitely this will help us to reduce the outages or minimize the outages. Okay. So indirectly, we are trying to make our profits better, or you can say availability better. Now, coming to the system requirements of the Nagios, it will can operate on 32 or a 64-bit, guys. Okay. 32 or a 64-bit. And the server should be Linux. And recently, Nagios is capable also on Windows, guys, but from the historical addition or tradition, you can say, the more predominant choice is Linux. Okay. And to install the Nagios, these are the prerequisites. Before we start Nagios, these are the prerequisites. So let me go ahead and set up the Nagios. We'll create a Oracle VM machine for it. Clone. So we'll say 31B Nagios. Next, full clone, finish. So I'm going into the settings. Every machine that you create, we have to refresh the MAC address. And let me start. Okay, so I'm back. So I think mission is up. So let me put the ID and password NMTUI. Activate the connection. Correct. Hostname hyphen capital I. So 192.168.1.2. So I'll use a session. I'll use SSH 192.168.1. IP it's 2. So logged in root. Okay, so let me increase the font size. So now let's go ahead and install all the prerequisites, guys. So So basically, the Nagios installation is done in 5 different steps, guys. First step is to make sure that all the prerequisites are installed. Second step is to set up the user accounts. Third step is to install the core services. And the fourth step is to configure the Apache because it operates on Apache. Fifth step is to configure the plugins required to see the dashboard. And the last step is to get into the Nagios and see how it looks and how it works. So let go and do all these activities quickly. Install them. So I need to copy all these things and let me put it in Notepad. Okay, I think it did not copy. Right click. Okay, so make sure that here it is. So all the prerequisites it is trying to install. So it will take few minutes. So it's going through. It is at around, I guess, 40s. Now it entered into 58. In total, it is going to install 96 packages. So we're almost done to get this packages done. So it's at, I guess, 70 to install. Okay, so it's almost done. So the next activity is to start the HTTP service because Nagios operates on Apache web server. So let's start this service. Let me copy it and let me put it here. So service has been started. It is done. So we're done with the step one, guys. Step one is all about installing the prerequisites and also we start the services and enable it full time. So by the way, so I forgot to tell you one more interesting point is, so in Nagios you have two editions, guys. Two editions we have. One is free, open source, and other one is licensed. So we are installing the free version, guys. Okay. So a lot of features you will not have in the free version, but you will have a lot of features available in the licensed copy. Correct. So that's the difference. Okay. So let me proceed. We have to set up the user accounts. So to set up the user accounts, this is a command. You can create any account, guys, but I preferred here to create Nagios. I'll say user add Nagios and create the password for Nagios. Whatever the password you give, kindly remember it. Okay, it is done. The next, whatever the user account that you have created here, right? You need to add it to a group called NAG CMD. So that means NAG CMD group also need to be created. So group add NAG CMD. So this is Linux command group add NAG CMD. So we're creating a group. Then into that group, I'm attaching the Nagios, which we just created the user account. And into that group, we are attaching the Apache also, which is our web server to host the dashboard. Okay, so that is the second part. So second part is all about setting up the user accounts, guys. Okay. Then next is third part. So in the third part, it's all about installing the core services. That means the primary Nagios software you're about to install. We call it as core. So if you want the latest copy, you can download it from the website. So if you want to go to the website, just say google.com. So we'll say Nagios core download. So this is the one. So just put that word on the internet and it will route to the official page of Nagios downloads. So we are talking about the first one, guys. Nagios core download. So click on the download button here. And this is what I was telling you. So XI is an enterprise edition and core is a free version. So in XI, you will have a lot of features. You can see a lot of features are there. But here in the core, you don't have much features because this is a free one. So click on this download and fill out your details. Basically, you fill any dummy details, it will take it, guys. Download. You can give any dummy details to go to the download. So this will come to the download page. And this is the page where you have two copies again. You have the Nagios fourth version and Nagios you have third version. So I recommend you to go with the latest one, that is fourth. Again in the fourth, you have again two copies, guys. So one is latest stable and another one is previous stable. So recommended is to go with previous stable copy. So right click here and copy this software link. This is what you need to do. Copy this and come here and say wget, put this. No, not like this. So once this has been done now, so please go to the cd/opt. You need to follow the document, guys. Okay, not to be in hurry. So go to this location because we have to put this software in OPT. In Linux, all third-party applications should be kept in OPT location, optional softwares. So cd/opt. I went there. Now say wget. So wget is a Linux command which will download the link that you gave. So wget is not there on this mission. So we'll say yum install wget. Okay, it's taking its time. Now, once it is done, again put this wget and put that URL link, guys, and press enter. So it starts downloading the software of Nagios. It's taking time, so we need to wait, guys. There is no other option. Okay, it seems to be done just now. Check it. Still not there. LSFNL. Okay, not yet done. Let me do it once again. wget. So it is still trying to connect. Okay, it got connected now. and it is downloaded. It's done. So check it ls-l. Yeah, you got this software, which is very lengthy big name. So once it is there, our duty is to, it is in the tar format, guys, tar format. So you need to untar it. So you know it, see, this is tar format. This is Linux knowledge. You need to unzip. So tar-xvf and type the software name. It will unzip. So check it. Yeah, it has created something called Nagios 4.3.4 folder. So go into that folder. Right, we are inside of that Nagios folder now, software folder. So I went in. Now from here, you need to keep on executing this commands, guys. So copy this and put it here and press enter. Okay, it says cannot, what is it? Cannot continue with the unzip. Okay, it's saying unzip is also required. So let me install that also. What is it is doing? So yum install unzip. Proceed. Why? It's done. Now try to run that command again. It is done. Then next you have to say make all. So make is a Linux command which will convert into a packaging command. Okay, so that is also done. The next one you need to say make install. Okay. So this is also done. The next is make install init. That is also done. Then we say make install config. Then next we'll say make install command mode. Then we have something called again make install webconf. It's done. So till here this part is done, guys. So third step is all about installing the core Nagios and trying to execute this commands. Then the step number 4 is we have to configure the Apache authentication, guys. So this is a command. We are about to create a Apache account to log in. The ID will be Nagios admin. You can use anything, guys. So whatever ID that you are going to create here, the same ID you're supposed to use to log in into the dashboard. So copy this and it will ask you to set up a password now. Set up a password, guys. And you need to use the same password to log in into the dashboard of Nagios. It's done. So we configured the Apache and just restart the Apache services. It's done. So step number 4 is all about configuring the Apache authentication, guys. The next step number 5. So in this step, so we are going to install the Nagios default standard plugins to view the dashboard, guys. Okay. So you need to go to the same page where you downloaded the core. So let me go to that page because in the same page you have this stuff. So just in the same page where you downloaded the core, just scroll down and you have an option that says plugins. Step 2 is plugins. So click on this, continue to the plugin downloads page. You will come to this page. Now in this, you will have the standard plugin to view the dashboard, guys. Okay. So this is a plugin. Just right click and say copy the link and follow the steps as per the notes, guys. So cd into the slash opt, do that thing. Again, same story, cd slash pt. Then next step is you have to use wget and put that link. Yeah, wget and put that link, whatever. Okay, it got connected and it gave the error also, guys. So you got an error here that says cannot verify certificate. So if you get certificate error, please run this. So whatever you got in this bracket, just copy paste at the end. That's it, nothing else. So it started downloading the Nagios plugins. It's done. Check it. Yeah, this is the one we just downloaded now. This is the one. And it is in the tar format. That means you need to unzip that. So tar-xvf Nagios plugin presenter. It's done. Check it. You got the Nagios plugins folder. Now go into it. Sorry. Not cd into it. So Nagios. Yeah. Once I go in, cd into that and start executing these commands, guys. So once you cd into that so and so folder, now start executing. So make sure that you don't copy the hash, guys. Hash indicates it's a command. So copy from dot only. So in the current folder, right click dot press enter. Okay. So it is done. The next thing is you have to say make So copy and say make here. So it looks like some English movie is going on. Hacking. Okay, it's done. The next thing is make install. So make install. It's done. So in the step number 5, it's all about installing the additional plugin here to make sure that we will view our dashboard properly. So that's the use of this. Okay. And the next thing is we have to verify and start the Nagios case. So we need to verify and start the Nagios. So this is the command which will tell you whether Nagios has been properly installed or not. So right click, say copy and put it. So this will tell you whether we have done correct or not. So once you execute, you'll get some data, but directly focus on this point. So total warnings is 0, errors are 0. If you have warnings, that's okay, guys. That's okay. It will not impact the functionality, but errors will impact the functionality. So errors should be ground 0. So if you have more than 0, 1, 2, 3, then technically somewhere here you missed one step. So please redo the activities. It will fix the problem. So if you see no errors, then start the Nagios service. Start the Nagios service. And then enable at boot time, guys. Got it? Check config, enable at boot time, and stop the firewall. So firewall is stopped to access our Nagios, guys. Then final step is we have to access the using the web browser. So technically this is what we have to use. So how do you access? So we'll put HTTP colon. So instead of local host, we have to type the IP address of the machine. Need to type the IP address of our Nagios server. So we can ask what's your IP? Host name hyphen capital I. It is 192.168.1.2. So we'll put here 192.168.2 and you have to type the Nagios word there. Nagios. Press enter. And it will start ask the login ID. See, you sign into the access this site. So the username is Nagios admin and the password is whatever I given during the setup. That's it. So this is the free version Nagios dashboard, guys. So this is how you will get into the dashboard. But during the installation, so if you remember, so we are doing a lot of steps, correct? So there is make, there is some command. If you want to know in depth, so this is the page you need to see. So if I click on this link, it will route to the page, Nagios page, web page. And here in this page, they've given you the detailed explanation of each and every command based on operating system. Also, you can see they have given different operating systems. So what I just done is, since we are using on Red Hat and CentOS, so I just copied the commands which are required for our CentOS only. So if you're planning to do on Ubuntu, please refer to the Ubuntu steps here. If you're planning to do it on, let's say, Solaris, refer to the Solaris steps. So steps, I just copied it from this page, and here they have given the clear explanation what is the use of each step, guys. So if you have time, so I recommend you to go through this. so that you will be aware how to handle this. Okay. Now, coming to this point here. Now, what is the role of the DevOps? So this is the biggest point you need to know before jumping into the dashboard understanding. Now, you tell me, guys. So, what is the role of the DevOps in monitoring? Any guess answers? Any guess answers, guys? So, keep in mind, these are all fundamental things. By looking at your Nagios skill set, or let's say monitoring skill set, don't think that they will give a job. Clear? So Nagios is the least priority. So in your profile, it will hardly carry 10% weightage in your Naukri profiles. In the job, it hardly carries 5% weightage on. So by looking at your monitoring skills, they don't offer the job. So don't try to become engineers here. The reason is the scope of the DevOps in monitoring is completely negligible. The reason is our part is to just need to know how to get into the monitoring tools. Okay. And you need to know how to pull the data. That's it. Pull the data of an application which is in trouble. For example, some application is not working. So go into the Nagios or any other monitoring tool you guys are using in your project. Go in, log in, and try to pull out the data and see. So third reason why our role is very negligible is generally every team member in your project will not have the access to the monitoring tools. So team leads, DevOps engineers will have the access into the monitoring tool. So any developers or testing team guys will try to approach you asking you to pull the data. If any application is, let's say, not working as per expectation and they want to know what is going wrong, so monitoring tools will track everything. So they'll try to approach you guys. Let's say application went down also. So why it went down, they want to understand. That is another reason they want you to pull the data. And personally also, in your DevOps activity, if you feel some application is in trouble and if you want to see what went wrong, you can also log in and see the logs, guys. So that is a role. So basically, we are expected to know how to log in into the tools and how to check our applications there and how to pull the data there. Am I clear? That is the only expectation. Either we pull the data for us for our task, or we pull the data for somebody else and give it to them. So that is an expectation of monitoring. That's the reason its weightage is so less here. Okay. So keeping that in mind, we'll try to understand the dashboard now. So coming to the dashboard, left hand side, I will focus on the options which are definitely required for the DevOps perspective, which is more important, guys. So first, I'll quickly go through. So first option is home, left hand side under general. So it will come to the home tab. Second option is documentation. It will open up the page where you have all the manuals available of Nagios. And whatever the version that you guys have installed, please look on to the manual. And if you want to know anything about the Nagios depth. Okay. Any help you require on the Nagios, you want to know how it works or how that will work, this will work. Just come to the manual and check it, guys. The next, under the current status, you will have the tactical overview. So this is like entire dashboard of what the Nagios is doing. So this overview is presented in 3-layer formats, guys. So network outages, 0. Host, how many machines went down, and how many services means applications, guys. So basically, Nagios will put the data under 3 segments: network outages, and your host and services. So this is a completely like a glimpse of entire dashboard. And whatever the services, whatever the monitoring features that you have currently configured in the open source, they have been shown here, guys. Okay. So this is a free, but beyond this, if you're planning to have, then Nagios will not cooperate. You need to go with XI version only. Then now the question comes is, one interesting point is Nagios has the capability to track the devices which are connected in the same network, guys, by default. By default, Nagios has the capability to track the devices which are sitting in the same network. To happen that, at least Nagios has to be up by 4 hours. Minimum 4 hours, you need to keep it up. Then it will automatically start sending the packets, and whoever resets the packets in the same network, it automatically tracks. And how about the machine which is not in the same network? Then basically, on the client side also, you need to set up the agent plugin and configure. So which is beyond our scope. So basically, those kind of things go under the network engineering team. Okay. But for us, our role is to just focus on how to identify our apps here. Okay. Map. So this gives an entire glimpse of your architecture of how many missions or how many are under the control of the Nagios. So only one, but this map keeps on expanding as the you have more missions, guys. The next is host. It will show you how many missions are there in your network, what is their status, whether up or down. So that is a thing. Then coming to the services here. So it will show the services based on the mission. You can see on the screen, so it is showing you the services which it is tracking. So it is tracking the current load, how many users, HTTP, ping command. Ping command is used to check network. Okay, root partition, SSH, swap, temporary space. So in total processes. So it is currently configured to monitor minimum of these three fundamental things, guys. Few fundamental things. Already you can see on the screen. On the HTTP, there is a warning. Correct? This warning. So this is the role why we use the monitoring. So likewise, if you have any other server which is tracked by the Nagios, you can go and see what application is giving the error there. So that's use. So already you can see the error. It's showing some warning. Then host groups. So this is like grouping data, guys. So the data that you can see on the screen based on groupings now. So we have the Linux server. That's the reason you can see only one. If you have the Windows, you will get one more column here. You have the Mac servers, you will have. Interestingly, if you have the printers also, it will show. If you have the mobile devices also, it will show, guys. So that is what the capability of this. So dashboard is this. Then here the by default, you click on the summary, data will come in the grid style. So only the presentation of the data is changing. So summary style and grid style. Then the same no services yet because we don't have the missions. Got it? Please confirm if you can hear me. Confirm if you can hear me. Because I got a message. You hear me, guys? Please confirm. Use your chat boxes. No? Yes? Voice is not clear to me. It's okay. Okay. So people are saying it's good now. Okay, fine. So what I'm trying to tell you is, so summary service groups is all about the application groups here because we don't have much missions. But once you have much missions you have or n number of missions you have, so you keep on getting the services details here. And the most topic of interest is problems only for us, for DevOps perspective. Okay. Problems is area of interest. So these are all not much great for us, but problems are great for us. So under the problems, it will show you whatever the Nagios has identified something going wrong or fishy. So you have services which is showing, see, one warning, correct? So HTTP service application service is this. So we have to copy this message and give it to the team who is looking for it. Or if you are troubleshooting on it, then copy this message, put it on internet and see what is the solution for it. Likewise, problems in the host. I don't have any host which is down here. So nothing, no data. Network outages, nothing. So problems are the area of the interest for us in a real time, because we generally check under the problems what services are down, what machines are down, and what network outages are there. Then coming to the reports here, the availability. Okay. So this is again not an interest for us. The reason is in most of the companies, you'll have the server monitoring engineers, guys. Did you heard this? Server monitoring engineers at enterprise level. Okay. So their duty is to generate the data of how the services are up or not. So here it is something like a track record or tracking the events of your Nagios. So availability. So I want to check. Let's go by host. It's all about generating the data, guys. You want all missions or you want particular mission. So again, these are some conditions. Fill up these conditions and click on create report. So this will get the report. And this report is generally is a point of interest for the manager to understand how many missions are, or let's say, what is an availability of entire our infrastructure, what went down and what is good, and how much downtime. That is the usage. Then coming to the trends here. So this is also same, but the point is you'll not get the report here, but it will show you the graph. That is the only difference. You will get the data in the form of graph, guys. It's the last 24 hours supply. So as of now, we don't have a great graph here. The only reason is we just installed the Nagios. But after using for a couple of days, you will see a very good graph comes up here. Okay. So that is the use of trends. Now coming to the alerts. This is again area of the interest for DevOps, guys. Alerts is an area of interest. So under the alerts, it will show you all the problematic things what Nagios has detected in its infrastructure. Whoever it is under the control of Nagios or being detected by Nagios, whatever it is problematic or whatever the missions are in trouble or applications in trouble. So that will be shown up here. So you can see on the screen already we have some data. So service alert on this mission is a warning. Again, the same alert is coming up at different times. It is trying to tell that, okay, there is some trouble. So alerts means you need to remember that something is fishy and always you need to take the proactive actions. And here you have some color signs, guys. Yellow color indicates it's a warning only. Red color indicates the service went down. So the moment you see some warnings, always being as an engineer, you need to understand what went wrong and fix it immediately before it goes into a red. If it goes into a red, definitely service goes down and it impacts our service. Definitely clients will have to take a hit. So, okay. Then coming to the where these alerts are saved. So that is important. So these are one of the most what is the this is what most expected interview question will be sitting at this place. So please make a note of this. So all the alerts will be okay, will be available in this file /usr/local/nagios/var nagios.log. Got it? I repeat, nagios/usr/local/nagios/var/nagios dot. So this is a location where you have all your Nagios logs, guys. All the labs of the Nagios are stored in this one, whether it is alerts or warnings, whatever it is. So simply it's a log file. Okay. So that's use of that alerts. Okay, alerts in the history, summary style, histogram. Histogram means again graph, guys. Summary means and history means this is like a tracking day on day. Okay. The next is notifications. Left hand side note. We don't have any notifications here. The reason is we don't have any personal notifications setup is not an option in, but this is an option in your enterprise edition. In enterprise edition, what happens is if the service goes down or any email trigger, guys. Okay? Email trigger. So is it better, guys? Now the voice is okay. The voice is breaking or what? Is it good? Okay, hold on, guys. Let me connect wired connection. Maybe Wi-Fi is unstable. Just give me a minute. I'm connecting wired connection. Okay, fine. We have only 5-10 minutes to discuss, so not to be worried. Confirm. Mayuri, do you hear me? Okay, Rahul says it's good. Nice. So what we're trying to discuss is notifications, guys. So currently all the notifications which are Nagios is tracking, it is going into this file. Okay, the same file which we are talking. So simply this is the only file in the Nagios where all the logs are stored. But here in the Nagios, you have an option to receive an automated email also, guys. But this option does not exist in here. Okay, here. I meant to say in the open source, you don't have such option. If you use XI, you have an option. So if something goes wrong, immediately you'll get a trigger email. Then coming to the event logs. Okay. So there is a difference. This is one other area of the questioning in the interview, guys. So what is the difference between an alerts and event logs? So event logs is all about tracking everything, guys. Everything, whether it is positive or negative, let's say information, warning, errors, everything it will track. So every fraction of a second, whatever it is happening, it will track. So that's the use of event log. Okay, it's an entire A to Z. But alerts is all about the problematic only. So whatever the problematic things are there, probable problematics. Okay, like warnings, errors, critical errors. So services which went into the red, all will be tracked under the alerts. So alerts only shows the data of problematic. Event log shows the data of both problematic and non-problematic also. So that's a basic difference. So If you want to see the event logs, then this is the place. Same. It's the same because in the event logs, again, the data is being written to the same file, guys. Okay. The same place. So alerts is all about the possible occurrence of defect. That is an alert one. Defect, definitely there is a defect. Okay, or you can say something is fishy, suspicious, or which is not going as per the direction. Okay. So example, just to make you understand example, tube light is there now at your home. Normally we'll see the tube lights. So if it is blinking more, guys, blinking more. So it's an alert for us. What does that alert indicate? Every day you switch on, it comes on, but suddenly you see that it is blinking more and then comes up. So what is an understanding there? That's an alert for us. It's an alert to make you understand that tube light is going to die. Do you agree? Or going bad. Spark can be faulty. Yes, correct. Tube light is can also be faulty, and maybe some proper electrical connections may be the fault. So a lot of things, but default is spark or a tube light is going to die. So that's a simple understanding. Understood, Shashul? Okay, so that's the event logs, that's the notification. So these are all the things. Now, from the perspective of the, let me just give me a minute, guys. I switch it to the wired now, so I need to update here also. So from the perspective of the monitoring side, you have to know two important commands. Two important commands you need to be aware. Okay, so that we'll discuss now. Quick. So let me pull out the host name. Hyphen capital I, it is 1.2 only. So Control R. Yeah. Now two important commands. So basically in a real time, all the data will be writing into the log files. So let's say this is a log file for the Nagios. So let's see the play the cat. Cat is one important command. I guess this is a basic. So it will print the entire log of this file. Cat. It will print whatever it is there in that file. But when you come to the real time, we are just doing a sample here. But when you come to the real time, guys, every fraction of a second also it will start writing a lot of data into that file. Okay. So it makes sense for us, okay, to just know little more commands. So head, if you use head command and you put the file name and press enter. How many lines you got it, guys? Count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you agree? Though you have a lot of data here in that file, but when I try head command, it is only printing the from the top 10 lines. Head command will only print the by default 10 lines, guys. So that is a default value. But let's say only I want from top 2 lines. You need to use -2 presenter only from the starting 2 lines. But generally in a real time, we don't want the starting data. Sometimes it may be required, but not every time. So in most cases, we require the last lines because the latest data will be written at the last. Then we'll use a command called tail. Head is for to get the from the top, Tail is to get the data from bottom. You see, tail, apply this file name. It's the same story. From the bottom, it will by default, it will show you 10 lines. From bottom to the top, it will go from bottom approach, bottom to top approach. From bottom, it will go and show you the 10 lines. But from bottom, let's say you want some 5 lines, you put -5 here, -n value. Last 5 lines. Got it? So these are the 3 important commands you should be aware when you're handling the log files, guys. For example, another command that can help you also this one. So let's say cat, and this is a file. In this, I want to see the data of, let's say, service alerts. Okay. You put this grep. There is a command called grep, guys. Grep is nothing but find. Grep service alert. Press enter. What happened? No. What is this? Cat. 1 second. Okay, we got it. So it is considering 2 different words. So you can see you need to put the double quotes. So this is like a find. So let's say you know the IP address of your server, or you know the application name, and if you want to see logs, the details of that, then you have to use definitely the grep command. Grep is nothing but find. So from the total, let's say there are some 5,000 lines, it is humanly impossible for us to see all 5,000 lines. So in that case, we'll apply the grep command. Am I clear? So associated with the logs, you need to be aware of these commands. That is head, tail, cat, grep. These are the commands you should be aware, guys. Clear? Confirm, guys. Is it clear with the Nagios? So that's all from the Nagios, guys. So from the monitoring perspective, I repeat once again, don't try to do any engineering works not required here. Simple things of monitoring is more than sufficient for your jobs. The reason is our duty in this segment is so less because we are not server monitoring engineers. Okay. To manage the monitorings very effectively, the role and responsibility goes into the network engineering team. In that team, we have called server operations, and those guys will manage the monitoring stuff in detail. But for us, from the software project management side, or you can say being in a software project, your role is to know your applications and pull out the details of your application logs in the time of when you get your alerts or warnings and supply to your team, whoever is requiring. Or when you're troubleshooting anything relevant to the application, you can also pull out the details, and based on the details, you can troubleshoot. Okay, so that's this stuff, guys. So I'll be putting this entire PDF copy into your class notes. I'll be copy pasting it shortly. And tomorrow, we'll start focusing on Vagrant, guys. Clear? So this is another tool, Vagrant. So we'll end up the officially class tomorrow. So tomorrow, Vagrant hardly takes 45 minutes or half an hour. So we'll do this activity tomorrow, guys. So that's all for the day. And any questions for me? And tomorrow, once we complete the Vagrant, so we'll start working on this activity. We'll start working on resume preparation activity, and we'll start working on, first we'll start with DevOps preparation activity. So DevOps tips and tricks. Clear? So once we complete the Vagrant, we'll do this. Then we'll go on to the resume preparation. That's it. Then we'll end up. So officially ends tomorrow, but these are all extra things that you get. So please don't miss the class tomorrow and day after tomorrow, guys. Clear? Please don't miss the classes because you'll have very important things to know. Yep. That's all, guys. And we'll catch up tomorrow. Chalo. See you. Bye-bye.